COVID-19, boy, has it transformed the way we live and work. Still more to come. Experts are saying it'll also change the way we holiday. Big hotel chains are set to replace communal gyms with on-demand yoga mats for your room and room service. That'll go. Vending machine meals instead. Cocktails by the pool. We're told they might be on the chopping block. And no longer those lovely, big, huge sort of breakfast buffets. They're gone as accommodation providers seek to offer the ultimate hygienic holiday. For more on this, I'm joined from Melbourne by demographer extraordinaire Bernard Salt. Well, thank you for your time. I tell you what, I'd rather stay at home. None of that sounds like it's much too good in terms of paying money to get away. How do they get the balance right between sort of the treat that it is to go on holiday and the COVID safety rules?
Well, I think there is a certain pragmatism around what needs to be done in the hotel and accommodation industry. What has happened over the last 12, 15 months or so is that many of the workforce, a large part of the workforce that serviced these facilities and hotels has, I think, found other jobs. The unemployment rate is one of the lowest it's been for more than 10 years or so, 4.5%. So all of those people that lost their jobs because people couldn't travel have found other employment. So in the opening up phase, these hotels need to find other solutions. And the way they're finding those solutions is to cut back on services. I suspect, though, that in the first 6 months or so, people will be so keen, so desperate to travel that they will accept this new normal. In fact, plus I also think that travellers will view a hotel room and experience through a COVID lens. They'll look for surfaces that are easily cleaned, for example, and always be mindful of how something could be transmitted in that experience. So it does require a whole streamlining, if you like, of that experience.
Doesn't surprise me that you've picked up the cost-cutting imperative as opposed to the pandemic imperative, but we'll see what happens. Let's talk about travelling. I've spoken to a few people that have gone overseas. They say it's pretty extraordinary in terms of the testing requirements, even going to use facilities in a hotel. Even if they've got a vaccine passport from Australia, they have to go and get PCR tests. We know you have to have them checking in. We know there's all these density limits. Security, September 11 changed dramatically how we used to fly around the world. This is now an added component. That's going to make it harder for people with young children or anyone wanting to go on a long overseas trip. This will be the game changer, I think, won't it?
It most certainly will. I most certainly also recall the change to flying when at 9/11, so the new security arrangements. And it did take quite some time to get used to. But I think this is going to take it to another level. People who are travelling have got to be keen and got to be prepared to change their expectations. The frictionlessness, the seamlessness of travel, I think, is a thing of the past. Look, it's a new reality, just as the post-9/11 world was a new reality. Post-COVID world will be a new reality. I suspect that eventually we will get used to it. There might be new securities, new ways of checking and testing and so forth that streamline the process. But I've been saying for some time, this is not a question of getting back to normal, whether it's holidays or whether it's travel. It's about getting used to a new way of life and adapting to it and accommodating it. And I think that's the key to success in the post-COVID world. It's adapting to whatever circumstances are presented in order for us to move forward.
Well, talk to me about work, because I've seen very early on a lot of people were saying, gee, I love this working from home. This is what I want to do when we open up again. That's pulled back a little bit. Some people are desperate to get back into the office. You know, presumably they don't have a study at home or the kids are under their feet, whatever it is. But there are still some that they want a hybrid option. How true is that going to be?
Well, I think this is very much the case. And the reason is that a hybrid arrangement where you can choose to work from home, say 2 or 3 days a week, and then work in an office or a workplace for the balance of the time, what that does, it empowers the employee, the worker, and from their perspective, they have an improved lifestyle. They're not commuting as much, they have control over their time. And if there is one thing that connects with Australians, it's the embrace of lifestyle. Does that deliver me a better lifestyle? Yes, it does. I'm going to grab that with both hands. But the workplace too must change. You know, the old idea of a sea of offices with cubicles.
I'm sorry, Ben, I have to leave it there. I've run out of time, but you're absolutely right. It'll change our lives. Thank you as always for your time.